All right, people, this is where I'm going to teach you how to draw a koi fish. Now, I will say right now, expect to fail a couple times. I want you to. I want you to kind of go through the motions of making one that you don't like and learn about what you don't like about it. Take a picture of that, stick it in your virtual sketchbook, and then do another one. Okay, I want to see the failures. I want to see your ridiculous looking koi fish, okay? You are totally allowed to mess up as many times as you need to until you figure it out, okay? So I'm gonna show you kind of a really easy way to do this. So we start out with the motion of the fish. We're literally gonna draw a line, an S. So I'm using sketch lines where I'm picking up my pencil and I'm just kind of whooshing it, okay? So we have an S here, okay? Now you wanna make sure you leave enough room for the tail here. What I like to do is I kind of make a mark on the line here so that I have enough room out here for all the billowy, beautiful tails, okay? And then on here, at the very other end here, is gonna be the center of the head. So this little dot here on the end of the circle here is gonna be where we draw the circle around, okay? Now, this is just gonna be looking straight down on the fish, okay? So we just want the circle, so I'm just gonna literally start going around. And guess what? Circles aren't supposed to be like perfect here. If your circles look funky, it's fine. You can use something to help you draw a circle, like, I don't know, a pill bottle or a coffee mug or a circle from, tape. I have a coffee mug here that I was using for my watercolor dish or cup. That would work perfectly to help you draw a circle, okay? I don't expect it to be perfect. This dot just needs to be somewhere in the middle, okay? So we've got the head there. Now we're gonna draw the body. Now, on here, the body is supposed to start kind of on the sides of the circle. It should just come out flowing from that, and it should meet kind of at the spot where you want the tail to start. So I'm just gonna start adding the lines, and I want it to start to taper off and get skinnier as we get to the point there. So I'm just doing my sketch lines, not worrying about it being perfect. Do not hold down your pencil and try to focus and draw like a perfect line. That's totally not gonna work, okay? Try to just draw sketch lines and not worry about it being perfect. This is just gonna be our first little attempt. I don't want anybody to stress out. These koi fish right now, not supposed to be perfect. Okay, now from here, we are going to start with kind of the tail, I guess, where you're gonna have it start. You don't want to start from the point. The tail kind of comes off a little bit from the body right here. So I just start by having two curved lines coming out. And we're literally gonna draw a heart. And again, if your heart looks like trash, totally fine, because the heart isn't gonna be what is left behind, okay? That's gonna get erased. All we need is two halves that are all similar, okay? It can look like a mess, it's allowed, okay? Then from here, we just add like a triangle basically on top of it with a little bit of curve, okay? Pretty simple. If you want it to be more flowy and more koi fishy, you could like add a little bit off the side here and then like go in and erase like so, right? And again, their tails don't have to be totally symmetrical. One could be like wider like this. You could have one with a little bit more on it than the other. Like this one could have just a tiny one. Koi fish tails are not symmetrical. Okay? Stuff happens in the wild. Parts get bit off. It just, they're not perfect. So then you just erase right in here, okay? And then you can think about adding more if you want. Like you could add like a little triangle coming off the inside there like that. Then you just erase the line right there. That makes it look connected. Cool, you got a big billowy tail, all right? Then from here, we need to think about how this really long slender body here, we're gonna add some fins to it. Now we want the two big fins pretty close to the head. So give it a little space, okay? And you're literally gonna just draw two kind of S-shaped lines coming out the side, okay? And again, they don't have to be all curvy like mine. They could be more curvy than mine. They could be more straight. I don't care. You make it what you want, okay? This is just mine. Yours can look 100% different than mine. You could have a robot fish for all I care. You make these koi fish the way you want. These are just the structures that I use, okay? Okay, then I'm gonna just bring it back in and I try to think leaf shape for the fins. And then I can add more funness to it later, okay? So there's that one. And then koi fish typically have little fins off the side, so I just start with some little lines. And they're kind of just coming down the body a little bit. Okay. And then same thing, we just turn those into little leaves. You can make them more flowy if you want, right? I'm just focusing right now on getting them on there and I can adjust them later. Okay, so we've got the shape of our koi fish now, okay? So the head. Now this is the part that a lot of people feel is the hardest. I don't know, to me, it doesn't feel as hard just because I know what I'm doing. I've done it like a million times. But for you guys, you can make the head really any way you want. There's only a few characteristics that are kind of, I guess, required, even though they're not. What I like to do is give a little curve to the back of the head. So from the side, kind of add a little curve there, and it's going to meet up right at where that line crosses. So I think like a W almost, okay? And then this curve here basically is like how the head looks from above because there's a kind of a sharp curve there from where the dorsal fin starts. And this whole line here is going to be the dorsal fin later, okay? Then koi fish also have kind of a snout. So from the front, we're just adding a little bit of a curve, a little bit of a snout coming out. So it shouldn't be like super small. Try to make it about just a little bit thinner than the head. Mine could even be a little bit shorter if I wanted to. It's kind of long. But again, it doesn't matter. Your koi fish could look whatever way you want, okay? As long as it's a fish or a dragon of some kind, right? Because you are also allowed to turn these guys into dragons. So from here, we're going to start drawing the face. Now, this is the part where a lot of people get scared. Oh, I can't draw eyes, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're going to start by just drawing a line, okay, across. Now, what this is doing is this part up here is the top of the head, okay? And then what's happening here is it's going to kind of curve down, and then we've got the eyes on the two sides here, okay? Now, I think football shape, okay? And the curve of the football is right along the side, the upper curve, okay? And then the lower curve is right along the edge of the face. Okay? Just like so. All right? Avoid having the points of the eyes coming in. You want them to be angled down, okay? Hugging the side of the face. Then we give them a little eyelid, just a line on top. Okay? Then we add a circle, kind of looking down, like so. And there you have eyes. You can color that in or do whatever you want. Okay, then we have two little nostrils. Now, obviously, I don't think koi fish have nostrils, but it just gives it a more lifelike look. And you could leave it there, but if you want, you could add in some whiskers. And remember, this stuff can go off the page, okay? And the whiskers can do all kinds of crazy things. They shouldn't be symmetrical, or they could, but technically I don't think they should. They're supposed to be. There's two long ones and then two shorter ones, typically, okay? And you just give them a little thickness. And these ones are going off the page, but that one is at least. So it goes from thick to very thin at the end, and same thing with the little whiskers in the front. This makes them look a little more dragon-like, too. Okay, last little bit here, the dorsal fin, okay, completes the fish. What I do is I start kind of at the back where the circle, our first little circle was drawn. I start there for the dorsal fin, come up. You can decide how tall you want it. I like to make it a little bit farther away from the edge of the body, and then taper it down to right before the end of the tail, okay? And then you go in and you can erase your little guides. So I'm going to erase the little line there at the end of the tail. I'm going to erase this part right here, the top of the circle there, and the line that was connected to the dorsal fin. I'm going to leave this line, but I'm going to erase that little dot that I drew because we don't need that. Okay, I'm going to leave that line because koi fish have kind of a slope in their forehead, and that line going down here emphasizes that. But I'm going to erase that horizontal line that we drew there, and then the curved line here right before the nose. All right, our guide's erased. There is our first very basic koi fish. Again, you can do whatever you want with them. Change it as much as you want. Make it a zombie fish for all I care. Give it fire coming out its mouth. Make these fun. It's yours. It's not mine. It is your koi fish. Have fun with it.